Hello Mouses! It's been a couple of days since we put up a video. I did actually record videos on Thursday and Friday. I think they're still stored on the camera, but I haven't actually got around to editing them because every time I tried to edit them, I fell asleep because I was ill and far too tired. So we're going to get back into the swing of things now. Perhaps I'll put up the other two videos as bonuses, but probably not. But anyway, we've got a few things I want to cover today in legal news, so we're going to get straight to it. Now, for those of you who know me personally or have been looking at what I've been talking about on Twitter and my blog, I'm part of the campaign that's been going on to get MPs to vote for gay marriage. It's something that I'm finding a lot of people are either definitely for or are giving really stupid excuses for why they're against it. Now, I'm not going to say you can't have your view. I personally believe that I shouldn't have to ask for permission to have the same rights as everyone else. That's just unacceptable behaviour. But that's the world we live in, so we've still got a campaign and basically ask permission to have the same rights as everyone else, which is wrong. This is the 21st century, it's not the 12th century, but we'll leave that aside. Now, the biggest problem I have is not that some people think that gay people shouldn't have the same rights as everyone else, but that they're giving silly excuses. I've been campaigning and emailing out to all MPs that are part of the Conservative Party, because I'm a member of the Conservative Party, and I've been campaigning with our MPs to try and get them to vote. Some of them, I've sent me back emails saying, yes, I am definitely voting. Some of them are saying, oh, due to very strict parliamentary conventions, we can't correspond with people who aren't part of our constituency, which is untrue. The convention may be that you don't, but it doesn't mean you can't. As so many of them who have emailed me saying, yes, I will definitely be offering support to this bill because I believe in equality. They've been sending me emails all the time, and a lot of others are as well. And technically, if you want to get really down to it, sending out an email that says you can't send me an email because of a convention is violating that convention. But then again, parliamentary conventions have about the same legal force as a gentleman's agreement, so don't start with that. But anyway, those who did bother to send me an email back and weren't the ones saying, yes, we're going to vote for this, were giving me a few strange excuses. Apparently, Parliament has no mandate, according to these people anyway, to put through this bill on gay marriage, which is untrue. The Conservative Party manifesto for the 2010 election under the equality section clearly mentions equality for gay people in regards to marriage. Not only that, but the Prime Minister, when he was doing a parliamentary conference, actually got a standing ovation for saying that he supports gay marriage. So, the party does have a mandate to do this. It was in their manifesto. There we go. Besides that, you don't need a mandate to give equality. There are certain things that a government is expected to do, and those things are what we call doing the right thing. Equality is the right thing, so you wouldn't even need a mandate on that. Plus, if a government had to have a mandate for everything they did, then things that crop up, such as emergency situations where legislation is required there and now, couldn't be done. So, to argue that you require a mandate is just silly. You don't. If it's the right thing to do, and you've already got it in your manifesto anyway, and therefore you have a mandate, that is not an excuse. So what else we got? Well, apparently 20 of the Conservative Party chairmen have written a letter and delivered it to 10 Downing Street saying that the party won't accept all of these changes that are for giving rights to gay people. We won't have it. They're saying, oh, all of these people in the grassroots, they're going to leave. Really? That's very interesting, because I've got an email here and a copy of the original documentation that says that 50 Conservative chairmen are very much in favour of equal marriage. And grassroots support actually says that people who didn't vote Conservative last time at the last election would consider voting Conservative, and in fact probably would vote Conservative this time round in the next election if they support gay marriage. So that's very interesting, isn't it? So we might lose a few of the older people, but the majority of the polls are saying that more people will join than leave if equality is something that the party embraces. So I'm very much confused about why these people will be saying, oh, it'll change everything, we'll lose the next election, it's going to be disaster if we give equality to people, so basically we'll all have the same human rights. Come on guys, just no, don't do that. Don't be that guy. But anyway, that's all I really want to say on that one. the support is there for both sides of the campaign, but it looks like the yes to gay marriage people have more support at the moment. Hopefully this is going to go through, but even if it does, it doesn't mean the end of the road. It's still got to go to the House of Lords for them to have a look at, and then it comes back to the House of Commons, and whether the Lords have rejected it or not, Commons may then push it through using the Parliament Act if it's rejected. But if it is rejected, that's going to be a big blow, but it might not be. And then once it gets back to the Commons anyway, they've got to have another vote on it, and then if that passes and everything goes fine, it goes to law. But there's still a long way to go. So this is not the end of the road. The campaign will continue either way. But I'm hoping that it comes through. And again, I'll be blogging about this tomorrow and doing another special video regardless of what the result is. Now on to banking reform, which is very interesting. The Chancellor, George Osborne, which I keep mispronouncing, has said that there will be new legislation to make sure that high street banks will have to split their high street arm from their investment arm so that the investment arm can go bust if they screw up. In the same way that the banking crisis was caused by a lot of banks screwing up with investments, just doing dodgy things, and then they had to be bailed out in order to make sure that the high street bank branches didn't close. Well, now that's not going to be a problem because the high street must be separate from the investment arm so the investment arm can collapse if they screw up, and the high street arm won't be affected. Moreover, the banks won't be able to take the high street branch's customers' investments and use them in their dodgy dealings. So that's good. It's basically what they're calling an electric ring fence to make sure that all your savings are separate from whatever the hell the bank's doing on the stock market, which is a very good thing. Plus, Osborne is bringing in this new interesting thing where you can now switch banks within a week, and anytime that you try and transfer money between banks, it will be speeded up. So banks can't just sit on your money for a few days and basically rob you of interest of it or whatever while they faff about and do whatever they do, when it should be an almost instantaneous transfer between banks due to electronic transfers. So that's all very interesting. Everything is getting streamlined and speeded up and more protection. So I'm happy about that. This is very, very good news. Not just for anyone who's got investments of their own or lots of savings, but for everyone, because now it means that if you have money in the bank, it's going to be safer than it used to be, which is great. Okay, final news that I want to talk about is King Richard III's corpse has been found under a car park in Leicester, which is interesting. It's almost exactly where rumours about monks burying it in a church suggested that it was, which is great. This is very interesting. Not only does it validate what is effectively rumour that has gone on for hundreds of years, but it means that we've been able to do DNA testing on what a lot of people say would technically be the last legitimate King of England, which I thought was very interesting. So it looks like scientists are going to have a look and see whether he was as badly deformed as Shakespeare and rumour suggest, with his hunchback and bent legs and things like that. I don't think he was. I think a lot of that's exaggeration, but perhaps he did have a hunch. Who knows? I'm sure lots of good science is going to come out of this, and archaeologists are going to have a field day, almost literally. So that's all well and good. And that's really all I wanted to talk about today. It's been a bit of a long one and slightly rambly, but it's important stuff that needs to be said, especially regarding equality. So I will see you again tomorrow for a News on Tuesday episode and a special episode later on when we discuss the results of the Commons vote on gay marriage. But until then, thank you very much for watching. If you did like this, remember to click a like button, share it with your friends so that they can see what's been going on in the law as well, and subscribe for future videos. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk-Robinson, you've been watching the Knob Mouse channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.